What's going on, everyone? My name's BoIt. I'm going to bring you some commentaries right now. It's going to be a 2v2 between um, some very high level and moderate level players. Spawning on a team 1 when this game loads. It's going to be Love Jiggy playing Thor in the blue colour at the top of the map. His partner today is going to be Morgenrode playing Ra in the teal colour. His opponents today are going to be Love's Apple Pie playing Odin, and the partner is going to be the expert HellsRavage. And yes, I did say expert. He has recently been named an expert on the RTS-Sanctuary forums. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can come up with and see if he can carry this game. The map is Mediterranean. That means there is a massive lake in the middle. Normally it's circular, but it looks like on this map it's a little bit different. It's going to be a bit of an odd shape. Not that it matters much, but yeah, it's pretty cool, you know. The thing is, on this map, it's different based on 2v2s and 1v1s. It's very different. Because the map's bigger, means rushing is a lot less viable, means you can get away with things. Means you can grab two town centers really quickly and then just be like, well, what? You can't touch me. You can take the water, but then I'm just going to boom on land and it's going to be even, but I'm going to have more population. Or like you can go straight to the roller cage. You can basically do whatever you want and get away with it. It's really nice. Um, that being said, though, it depends on teamwork, and you can get away with rushing if your partner plays to that and you start being aggressive on land as well after you take the water. Build order wise, it looks like pretty standard stuff. He's going very heavy, Jiggy's going very heavy dwarves. This is just because he can't afford to continue to boost gatherers, and dwarves are pretty much the same gather rate as villagers. Actually they're not, they're actually quite terrible according to my statistics. um, Regardless, Morgenrode looks like he's going for might be actually attempting to go up very fast. He's only got 2 villages on wood, and he's already got 6 villages on food. It means he's going to be going up about 4 minutes to 4 minutes and 30 seconds. This might be a good idea, but then again it might not. He is Ra, and obviously Ra benefits off farming and economy, not rushing. But we'll see what he can come up with this build. Red, on the other hand, has only just thrown up his house. He's actually probably supply blocked, or gonna be supply blocked, unless he already has a house. Actually, he already has a house. I take that back. He'll be fine. And obviously, it looks like Hells is booming on water. He's got 6 villages on wood, which means he can produce a fair amount of fishing ships, and he's going to be throwing up his temple very soon. Probably going to be hitting the classical age about 4 minutes, 45 to 5 minutes 15, somewhere between them, and he'll go from there probably with 3 docks. No upgrades should really be bought at this point in the game, just because you get such a bonus from spending that wood on fishing ships, and you can't spend the gold because unless you're Thor and you're gathering a shit ton amount of gold from all these dwarves, but you want to spend that gold on the temple, and then you want to spend the food on getting up to the second age as quickly as possible, so you can hang on to that advantage you have on water. It looks like Morgenrode going through Tar. This is a good choice, though Bast is obviously also viable. It means that he can use shifting sands on this location here, and Apple Pie really needs to fix up that ox cart. It's not hard, and it saves so much walking distance, and you get so much more gold. But back to Patar, you can use shifting sand. You can take 2 of their dwarves and an ox cart, and then either kill them or do what you can with that shifting sands and delay their resource gathering time or whatever. Um, Looks like HellsRavage going through Athena. We have a Freya for our Odin player, and our Thor player also going through Freya. Freya is really good in this map. You can burn their wood, and unless you split up your wood like Hells is doing here, you're gonna get this really awkward spot in the game when he casts Forest Fire and you're fighting and you can't produce any more boats because your villagers need to be over here instead of, well, they need to move, so they have to reposition themselves, and then the Thor player just wins right off the bat just because you can't produce any more units and you get outproduced. An interesting dynamic in this game is the free myth units, and what it does is it makes certain gods more viable than other gods. This is why I was saying that while Ptah is good, the free myth unit kind of makes it not viable. With the Sphinx, what you can do is you can simply combat this Valkyrie, and also you can go and raid their villages. The Wadjet doesn't really do that. He can sort of do some damage, but he really can't do much. And a little bit of skirmish going on here. Cabinets are into the fray already. Longboats being produced on both sides. Looks like Hells doesn't want to quite engage yet. He wants to mass up a couple of boats just to make sure he can fight this quite well. Our Ra player is not going to be able to produce as many boats as the other players because he advanced so quickly and his economy is so poor. He actually doesn't have any economic upgrades yet, which is quite bad. You really need to grab that hand axe while Forest Fire going down onto Hell's wood. This is why he doesn't want to be fighting yet. He needs to be producing ships constantly. If he's fighting, he's going to be losing ships, and it's really difficult. Now the Forest Fire's gone, means he can relocate his wood and go from there. A little bit of skirmish going on here with the fight. Looks like Love Jiggy just not quite reacting in time, does run straight into those Hells triremes, and he's going to be losing a bunch of boats, trading 2 for 1 there. He's going to probably lose another one if he's not careful. He's going to have to retreat out of there. While it looks like our Ra player is in full retreat again, he's trying to protect this dock from being taken down. The Valkyrie is harassing like a little bit she is, while the longboats are taking out all of those cabinets. It looks like he's probably going to lose this. Only just loses that Valkyrie. The Laborer has 1 HP left. I would not be surprised to see if Apple Pie decides to send 1 longboat after that villager and just to snipe it. Back over to Hell's side, he is just picking off fishing ships, making life hard for Love Jiggy. Love Jiggy not going to be able to fish off that location, might need to move over to, maybe there's some fish over here, who knows. A little bit of micro wars going on here. It's just pulling back ships and doing what he can over here, and it's really nice micro on both parts. Love Jiggy focus firing quite well. He's not actually pulling any ships back, which is not a bad thing, but it's also not going to get you where it's not going to really help. It's kind of, you know, whatever if you just focus fire. And HellsRavage does cast Restoration there, rehealing all of his boats. So he's going to be in a good spot, whereas Love Jiggy's going to have a bunch of boats on low HP. It's actually only 3. However, with Morgenrode coming over here to double team Hells, he's going to have to retreat out of here. Full retreat Apple Pie going to be coming in here now, trying to disrupt this sort of double team. If they can get a good concave here, which they do have, this is going to be massive. The ships are completely destroying everything, while the cabinets of the Ra player retreating back to his docks, and also Love Jiggy retreating back to his docks. Looks like Hell's triremes are a little bit outmatching Love Jiggy's longboats, even though the longboats do have quite a bit more attack power than them. It is the range of those Hades triremes, which does a lot of damage though. And it looks like the triremes just retreating a little bit again. They're just pulling back the ones which are getting attacked, and it's a really, really, really cute play by Hells here. He's really being able to control these ships and just showing that he is that expert that he has been voted for. And over here again, he is fighting under the dock, so he's getting dock fired over here. Apple Pie is not microing to the best of his ability. His boats are running around a little bit instead of constantly firing, and it looks like he might actually lose this fight, even though he does have superior boats than the Ra player. It doesn't look like he can hold this offensive position. It might come out a little bit even. Morgenrode might want to think about garrisoning another fishing ship into this dock, and then might be able to hold a little bit easier. However, it looks like Apple Pie going to be in retreat now. He doesn't have the boats to compete with that Morgenrode, so he's going to head back home, reposition his units, and then come back in. While Hell's coming in now, going to be picking off a bunch. Actually, no, he's just going to run straight through and ignore them. Seems a little bit interesting. See what he can do now. He is going to be able to pick off all of these cabinets if Morgenrode doesn't micro them correctly. And another forest fire does go off. The second Valkyrie of Love Apple Pie coming in here to disrupt this. This means that Morgenrode's not going to be able to produce any more cabinets, but that's okay because he stopped. They've given up water, it looks like, actually. No, they haven't. Love Jiggy's still producing while Morgenrode is not. This might be a miscommunication here. Might be an idea for both Love Jiggy and Morgenrode to be grabbing two town centers right now. There's really no sense in waiting on sticking onto this water. I really would like to see these boats stop auto-queued, whereas Hells knows he has to keep on auto-queuing as well as Apple Pie. Morgenrode again not producing any more boats, so I think round about now those boats are going to be stopped produced, and Love Jiggy's going to start grabbing town centers, or maybe going straight to the heroic age. Hells now that he has won the water, he needs to stop producing triremes and start producing fishing ships, as well as Love Apple Pie. It looks like Apple Pie is still producing longboats when he shouldn't be. What you should be able to note here now is that Love Apple Pie has a bunch of villages on, Morgenrode has a bunch of villages on berries. So that means that he stopped producing on water, basically. I mean, you know that now that because no cabinets came out of that dock, but because he has villages on food, it means that he can't really be supporting any more of that, those cabinets on water. So he's just going to be, doing that thing. Looks like Jiggy is throwing up a longhouse, and also Hells is throwing up two ranges and a barracks. I would not be surprised to see a couple more buildings. And here's one thing which I see all the time. It's really bad. Four villages on Temple is actually worse. Yes, it's actually worse than what's it called? If you see down here, it's actually worse than three villages. Actually worse than two villages. If you look that up, you see you have one villager, two villagers, three villagers. Actually, two villagers is a more effective than three villagers as Hades. That's interesting. I just learned something. And an underworld does go off. I have no idea where it is. It's right there on that gold mine. Going to pick up a bunch of those villages. This does not look good for Jiggy at all. Not going to be able to gather any of that gold. Going to have this town center in a position which is poor. And a little bit of Q microing there, dropping that Manticore back through the underworld. And Love Jiggy does resign. And Morgenrode casting Rain now. I don't think that Morgenrode has the economy to compete 2v1 here. And there's the GG right there. Really, really strong play by the green and red team, being able to dominate water and then come through with that underworld passage. But I really have to say this. Do you know that a Hades gathers faster with two vills? How cool is that? Anyhow, that was a really GG right there. Yeah, Hells was just able to dominate water, and Apple Pie was able to compete more better with Morgenrode. So that just was really good.